Thank you so much. Thank you. Dear fellow citizens, I want to thank the many of you who came up to shake my hand the last few nights, and also when I go on my walkabout. Whether you know it or not, that shake of the hand, the words when you said that you support me, that you will vote for SDP, it increases my energy. It gives me the extra ounce of energy to walk that extra miles. Thank you so much. Thank you. I have prepared my speech today with some research I've done in the past, some time ago. CPF, minimum sum scheme, which all of us, many of us, have loved to hate. HDB prices, something that concerns us all, especially young people who find it increasingly difficult to own. Well, I've prepared all these necessary data and argument so that I can present it to you tonight. But this afternoon, when I was just reading it through again, I tore it all up. Numbers are cold. You can get them from the internet. So, I would rather tell you some real story of real people who are affected by such inadequate and irresponsible policies like the ones that I've just mentioned. Yesterday, just yesterday, a man, well, let's just call him Mr. Lim, came up to me on a walking stick, took my hand, and he assured me that he will vote for me. But before I could thank him, he beseeched that I must promise to do something in return. Just a few years ago, he said, he used to live with his aged mom. Life was okay, he described in Teochew, Cha Boi Pa, Yao Boi Si. Well, I'm sure you have heard that a lot, very often. Well, his ordeal started when he had surgery just a few years ago. And he pointed and showed me the scar on his neck and going all the way down. He wanted to take out his shirt, but I said, no, it's okay. I believe you. He spent a huge amount of money, his saving, his life saving, on the surgery. But thereafter, his life changed. His money, whatever that was left of it, was depleted because he cannot be gainfully employed ever again. He had checked with a few agencies, hoping to get some amount of welfare aids. But time and again, he was turned away because he was told that he is not entitled to welfare because he has a flat. He was told that he can sell it and use those money. So he did, and downgraded to a rental flat. But to his horrors, he found that a huge chunk of the money that he gained after selling the flat got stuck in CPF. And whatever that is left soon become depleted also. He now resorts to picking used cans and paper, which he sell just enough for his daily meals. Sometimes he has to skip a meal, he told me, because he says, "Mẹ kia chú lai chú quỷ, chích hoa hơi mi, cú cha họ xoay tiếng si nó khâu chi, mày gạo sa khâu, đông kinh sáng chiều tiêu anh si khâu, cho你个bồi, cho你个脚." Sometimes he would fall down, he said, and hurt himself while picking papers and cans. Even children would help me pick up those cans, he said, with tears welling in his eyes. But the government would not lift a finger to help me. Dear friends, the CPF minimum sum scheme is immoral. Had I presented to you in just cold numbers and data tonight, well, all I could conclude is that the scheme is not a good one, and that's pretty much about it. But now you have heard the story of Mr. Lim, and I'm quite sure that many of you have heard stories like that yourself. And because of that, I can say to you that the minimum sum scheme is immoral. Tell me, isn't it immoral to deprive a man of his own money? Tell me, isn't it immoral to drive him to such a state, such a life of misery, just because the government thinks they are smarter than the rest of us in managing our own money? I promise Mr. Lim that when I become an MP, I will attend to his case personally. But that was a bold promise on my part because I'm acting in faith. My faith is in you. Because I will need your help to fulfill that promise. If you don't put me in Parliament this Friday, I will have to disappoint Mr. Lim. Please, help me deliver my promise to him. What happened to Mr. Lim and many others like him is really unnecessary. It is only because we have an uncaring government. So uncaring that they make it a point to make welfare a dirty word. Don't get me wrong. I'm not advocating a welfare that gives handout to people who are too lazy to find a job. That is merely a myth propagated by the PAP. Under the PAP system, which is evident for all to see right now, what we see in reality are stories such as Mr. Lim's. Stories that outrage our sense of morality. Stories that outrage our sense of righteousness. Stories that outrage our sense of simply helping our neighbors. Long ago, a very wise man once told a story about a man who was robbed, beaten, and left to die. Another man, a traveler, a passerby, saw him. He was from a different culture and took pity on him. Not only was he from a different culture, he was from a culture that was traditionally an enemy of the fallen man. In spite of that, he took pity on him, helped him, and nursed him back to health. But here in Singapore, we have a government that look at our very own poor, our very own downtrodden citizen and say, oh, we cannot extend our help because welfare will make people dependent on it like a clutch. Can you believe that? When I left Mr. Lim yesterday, he was holding a physical clutch. Ladies and gentlemen, if I have my way, given his circumstances, if I have to offer him a financial clutch, so be it. There is nothing wrong looking after our own. The one thing that will make us proud of our country is when we look after each other. Leave no one behind. That's one of the motto in SDP. Leaving no one behind is a principle, a value that SDP would like to advocate. And we are counting on you to make it a reality this Friday. Put us into Parliament so we can speak up for Mr. Lim and others like him. Put us into Parliament so we can be your voice in Parliament. This Friday, can I count on you? Can Mr. Lim count on you? Can Singapore count on you? 这个星期五，给民主党一票。Hari Jumat ini undilah SDP. SDP ke Wageningen. Thank you. Thank you. I'm counting on you.